And now, O Yisrael, listen to the laws and the right rulings, which I am teaching you to do, so that you live, and shall go in and possess the land, which Yahweh Elohim of your fathers is giving you. Do not add to the word which I command you, and do not take away from it, so as to guard the commands of Yahweh your Elohim, which I am commanding you. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did at Baal Peor. For Yahweh your Elohim has destroyed from your midst all the men who follow Baal Peor. But you who are clinging to Yahweh your Elohim are alive today, every one of you. See, I have taught you laws and right rulings, as Yahweh my Elohim commanded me, to do thus in the land which you go to possess. And you shall guard them and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding before the eyes of the peoples who hear all these laws. And they shall say, only a wise and understanding people is this great nation. For what great nation is there which has Elohim so near to it, as Yahweh our Elohim is to us, whenever we call on him? And what great nation is there that has such laws and righteous right rulings, like all this Torah, which I put before you this day? Only guard yourself and guard your life diligently, lest you forget the words your eyes have seen, and lest you turn aside from your heart all the days of your life, and you shall make them known to your children and to your grandchildren. The day when you stood before Yahweh your Elohim in Horeb, Yahweh said to me, assemble the people to me, and I make them hear my words, so that they learn to revere me all the days they live on the earth, and teach their children. And you came near and stood at the foot of the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire to the heart of the Shamaim, darkness and cloud, dense cloud. And Yahweh spoke to you out of the midst of the fire. You heard a voice of words, but saw no form. You only heard a voice. And he made known to you his covenant which he commanded you to do, the 10 words, and he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone. And Yahweh commanded me at that time to teach you the laws and right rulings for you to do them in the land which you pass over to possess. Therefore diligently guard yourself, for you saw no form when Yahweh spoke to you at Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest you should corrupt yourselves, and shall make for yourselves a carved image in the form of any figure, the likeness of a male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, or the likeness of any winged bird that flies in the Shamaim, the likeness of any creature that creeps on the ground, or the likeness of any fish that is in the water under the earth. And lest you shall lift up your eyes to the Shamaim, and see the sun, and the moon, and the stars, and all the host of the Shamaim, and you be drawn away into bowing down to them, and serving them, which Yahweh your Elohim has allotted to all the peoples under the Shamaim. But Yahweh has taken you and brought you out of the iron furnace, out of Mitzrayim, to be his people, an inheritance, as it is today. And Yahweh was enraged with me because of your words, and swore that I would not pass over the Jordan, and that I would not enter the good land, which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you as an inheritance. For I am to die in this land. I am not passing over the Jordan, but you are passing over, and shall possess that good land. Guard yourselves lest you forget the covenant of Yahweh your Elohim, which he made with you, and shall make for yourselves a carved image, in any likeness Yahweh your Elohim has commanded you. For Yahweh your Elohim is a consuming fire, a jealous El, when you bring forth children and grandchildren, and shall grow old in the land, and shall do corruptly, and make a carved image in any likeness, and shall do what is evil in the eyes of Yahweh your Elohim to provoke him. I shall call the Shamaim and the earth to witness against you on that day, that you soon completely perish from the land which you pass over the Jordan to possess. You do not prolong your days in it, but are completely destroyed. And Yahweh shall scatter you among the peoples, and you shall be left few in number among the Gentiles where Yahweh drives you. And there you shall serve mighty ones, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. But from there you shall seek Yahweh your Elohim, and shall find. when you search for him with all your heart and with all your being. In your distress, when these words shall fall upon you in the latter days, then you shall return to Yahweh your Elohim and obey his voice. For Yahweh your Elohim is a compassionate El. He does not forsake you, nor destroy you, nor forget the covenant of your fathers, which he swore to them. For as now of the days that are past, which were before you, since the day that Elohim created man on the earth, and as from one end of the Shamayim to the other end of the Shamayim, whether there has been a word as great as this, or has been heard like it. Has a people heard the voice of Elohim speaking out of the midst of the fire, as you have heard and live? Or has Elohim tried to go and take for himself a nation from a midst of a nation, by trials, and by signs, and by wonders, and by battles, and by a strong hand, and an outstretched arm, and by great fearsome deeds, according to all that Yahweh your Elohim did for you in Mitzrayim, before your eyes? You have been shown it to know that Yahweh himself is Elohim. There is no one besides him. From the Shamayim he let you hear his voice, to instruct you, and on earth he showed you his great fire, and you heard his words out of the midst of the fire. And because he loved your fathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and brought you out of Mitzrayim with his presence, with his great power, to drive out from before you nations greater and stronger than you, to bring you in, to give you their land as an inheritance, as it is today. And you shall know today, and shall recall to your heart, that Yahweh himself is Elohim, in the Shamayim above, and on the earth beneath. There is none else. And you shall guard his laws and his commands, which I command you today, so that it is well with you and your children after you, and so that you prolong your days on the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you for all time. Then Moshe separated 3 cities beyond the Jordan, toward the rising of the sun, for him who killed someone to flee there. He who kills his neighbor unintentionally, without having hated him in time past, and might flee to one of these cities and live. Betzer in the wilderness in the level land for the Reubenites, and Ramoth and Galad for the Gadites, and Golan and Bashan for the Menashonites. And this is the Torah which Moshe put before the children of Israel. These are the witnesses and laws and right rulings which Moshe spoke to the children of Israel after they came out of Mitzrayim, beyond the Jordan in the valley opposite Beet Peor, in the land of Sion, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moshe and the children of Israel had smitten after they came out of Mitzrayim. And they took possession of his land, and the land of Og, sovereign of Bashan, 2 sovereigns of the Amorites, who were beyond the Jordan, toward the rising of the sun, from Aurora, which is on the bank of the Wadi Ammon, even to Mount Sion, which is Hermon, and all the desert plain beyond the Jordan, as far as the sea of Arabah, below the slopes of Pisgah.